right, there we go. Hey everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another great day of FileMaker training at fmtraining.tv. I'm the creator of fmtraining.tv, where you can learn all about the FileMaker platform and learn how to build better FileMaker applications for you, your customers, your organization. This broadcast is completely free to everyone and is being broadcast in high definition to Discord, YouTube, and to Twitch. This broadcast is being recorded, which is really great. Of course, we might clean up the recording a little bit, so if we make a malfunction during the live stream, then of course we reserve the right to clean that up on the recording later on. However, because it's a live broadcast, we encourage you to ask questions. In fact, some people get aggravated when there's this dialogue with you and we ask questions. We want questions. If you have a question, odds are other people have the question too. And so I want to thank everyone for logging in. Ken and TK and Dave One, Dave Learning, Ed, Elzo, Carol, Jake, Mike, all of you, welcome once again to another great broadcast. Now, as a reminder, if you want to check out the upcoming broadcast, go to fmtraining.tv, press the left tab for the live button. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. That's pretty awesome. Additionally, if you want to help support this channel, right? We always say this, this broadcast is brought to you by fmtraining.tv, bringing you the greatest and the most entertaining FileMaker training videos available. So the idea is that if you want to help support the channel, make sure you check out our on-demand video bundles. We have videos that cover the latest version of FileMaker. We have videos that cover the deploy course. In fact, we used to sell the courses individually. Anymore, it's just much simpler to sell a complete bundle for a low price. We do this on an annual basis. So if you buy one of the bundles, that really helps support the channel. It ensures that we can keep coming back every day because this broadcast actually takes a lot of money to run. The people here don't work for free. Hello everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. Helping me today is our Director of Operations, Haley Marie, who's got slight overexposure problems because Christian Olsen got in there and shot some Wolfpack videos and boogered all the lighting up in our Los Osos office. So that's her here. Helping her is her junior assistant who's about to smile. This is Margaret. Margaret is in our Reno office and monitoring things from that location. And then, of course, we have Nick on hot standby, but we scared Nick yesterday. He had a tie on, so we got rid of the tie. We scared him. So, Nick, are you ready to go? Haley, do you want to introduce Nick? What do you think of Nick? And then I will let you go. I'm going to go full screen with Nick.
Gee, thank you. I think Nick is amazing and does an awesome job at presenting all of the knowledge that he has that everyone else doesn't, and just going into the detail about how everything happens on his end. And all of his work looks beautiful. Really, it does. So Nick, thank you for being here, and take us away.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate it. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. Actually, it's an honor to be here. You know, it's very good thing to do, and I hope, you know, I have so many testimony of people, you know, saying that, oh, you change everything. I was thinking you change everything works now, everything, you know, this is the reward that I'm seeking. It's pay the bills, that's something, but the reward is that do we get better things, and do we get the FileMaker product to look better and to behave better? That, I think, that talking about Claris, that they don't understand, that they didn't get this. Each time I'm showing something and people say, "Wow, is that how you did that?" I said, FileMaker. He said, "What? This software from the 80s is doing this?" Right? So that's what how do people react, and they are extremely surprised about the results, right? Claris should, you know, serve from this. Say, okay, hey, here how you can get the thing to look, and how, because the feeling, you know, you have the first feeling. You know, I worked for the real estate business for many years when I was in France, and here what we said. In the real estate, you sold the house, you are selling the house in the first 90 seconds. If in the first 90 seconds you don't have this crush, this magical crush, you will never sell it. Never. You can think about it, yes, no, afterward, but still at the beginning, the first 90 seconds, with the software, it's the same. How many times you guys downloaded something from the internet, download something from the app store or stuff like that, and you start using the app and say, okay, what the bleep is this piece of bleep, right? And then you install it, and then you go back to the Apple Store and try to find out a better one because you don't like it, right? So imagine that your users and your customers are feeling the same thing, but unfortunately, because of the situation, they don't have the luxury to say, okay, let's trash this and go to the App Store, buy another one, right? So, and this is what you need to keep in mind. Okay, so let's continue about talking about our amazing search capabilities here in FileMaker. So yesterday, we discovered that we learned a little bit more about the find mode. Find mode is kind of a voodoo, kind of an unknown mode, and people are not exploring, people are not learning about the find mode because they think, they think the find mode must result with a perform find, when it's not. It's like the preview mode doesn't result only with a print or a save as. Okay, so a mode is a mode, and you need to learn how to utilize the mode at your advantage. Okay, so yesterday we discovered that you can use the find mode. Okay, you can use the find mode in order to get the possibility to enter criteria in fields as you were doing in a find mode, but without to perform the find in locally in a client, but to perform the find in the server. So we learned to do that yesterday, and so you saw that you can do everything like you were doing the find, but you don't do it locally. So you do it, you do it on the server. So yesterday I intercepted many things in the discussion here, and I will explain to you tomorrow how to play a little bit more with those relationships. Sorry for that. Okay. Play with those relationships here, because I think the relationship is quite unknown to many people, and needs to be explored a little bit more, because we use the relationship to play with the, where is this thing here? I don't remember where I put the thing. Anyway, so with that, but we can do that tomorrow. So today I want to show you a little bit more of this search capability here, and I want to explore you this one. Okay, so here it's another kind of find. It's a find that you are going to do locally. Okay, so yesterday we saw the find where you collect the data, and then you go to the server, right? And then you just ask the server to do to perform the find, and then you come back. Okay, with this technique of what's the name? This technique of looping, and setting the field by name, blah blah. Okay, we did that yesterday. Today we are doing the same thing here, adding a new layer on this. Okay, so the layer is that I want to have all the FileMaker goodness here to be able to add requests. Okay, not talking about the omitting and including. Let's put that on the side for now. But what is a request? You want to add a request. So you want Carlton, and you want Premise, for example, and you want Tristic. Okay, so you want those three things. So 1, 2, and 3. So you can see here what I've done here is just a nice presentation of the FileMaker find mode. I'm in find mode here, and I'm not doing anything other than the find mode capability. I'm adding a request, I delete a request, and I do what the find mode is doing. This is pure find mode. I'm not doing anything. And when you perform the find, you perform the find locally. So you have performed find in the client. Okay. So how we do this, how we can add multiple requests. So that is obvious, but I can explain that to you. So how this is possible. Okay. So just because for some of you that doesn't know, if we go to we can go to a context for example. I want to show you this. Let's go there. Okay. And you enter find mode. Oops. Okay, I need to change this. Okay, you enter find mode. Here, see the menu change, and now you can add as many requests you want. You can delete request, new request, and you ask whatever you want, right? You type whatever you want here, whatever you want here, what you want here. Of course, the search must match all of those criteria to be acceptable. If one fails, it will find nothing. Okay, it's not forgiving anything. Okay, so this is how it works. So pretty much what I've done is just a nice representation of the same thing. Okay, so and it looks like this. Okay, so you can add, you can delete. So here I have no request, right? So you can add a new request, and you can add as many requests you want. Okay. Of course, here you can search again. You can search in the account fields and in the contacts fields. Okay. So you can search on many places here. You can search on all of those, because here you can see what I want to do here. I want to be able to search within different, within estimate, project, task, and stuff like that, right? And retrieve all the account that has something that I found something in the task table, for example, or the document table or whatever. Okay. So how it works. So let's say let's start slowly here, and let's start with Carlton here, and let's debug it. Okay. So this one here, you see, it's kind of a little bit different than the other one, right? It's easier to work. So I go to this layout here, okay, and I'm doing some kind of magic here that you don't really care about what I'm doing. Okay, so this is okay. Okay, so you view as table, and see here, I perform the find directly. So I go in that layout here for debug purposes. It's only for debug purpose. So when you have a layout, you start with a layout where you input the fields, the criteria. Then you can, within the find mode, you still in find mode. So, and you can go to a layout, another layout, and then you can do plenty of things. So this is something I will explain you why I'm doing that later. Okay, make sure you're in table view, is important, and you perform the find. Or if it's constraint, you constrain the font set, or if it's extend, you extend the font set. Okay, so you have all the possibility here together, right? So and this is how it works. It's very simple to do something like this. So you do this and this, and then when you have something here, so you search. So you have when you perform the search, you have the result. So you can see the result in this table here. You see the result, okay, and then you set all the fields you need to set. Like the list of account always is this list of accounts technique here. That means as for the perform script on server, you set a field, and then you get this field to use the go to real records to get the font set back. So because the transfer of font sets, so this is where I want to come here. you have two ways to render things. You can go to the server, do the search on server, and then come back with the IDs, the list of IDs you found, and then you set the global field and you say, go to read record. Or you can perform the find in another window, pretty much here in this window. You perform the find here, and then again you transfer the font set to the other window. So transfer of font set can be done locally within the same file. So you don't need the transfer of font set can work not only on server, but also locally on the same thing. So, so I do it again here just to make sure you understand the thing. When, when you perform the find, you do like kind of some magic here, right? So you do some magic here, and then you, okay, we don't care about this, okay? And then you perform the find, you have the results, right? In this window here. Then you set the fields again, you clean up the thing, you set the list of account, and then you go to that record, and then you have your set. Carl says something interesting here. So yeah, so that's you can do the thing I mean you can do the thing on two ways, on server and on local. So why it matters to choose which side you want to do the search? Okay, it matters a lot because it depends on the number. You remember, always I'm saying this, the number is the key. When I say the number, it's quote unquote number. It's the number of users connected, the numbers of fields, the number of records, the number. Because when the number grows, okay, you have to understand something. Do you want to slow down your server? Or do you want the client to wait a little bit? So it's a balance between what you want to do. Do you want to achieve? So when you know that you have something, when you know that you have a search that can be heavy, but you have the proof that when you do it on the server, it is fast, then you can do it. You know what I mean? That means if you do a search on server and it takes 2 hours to do it, first of all, you have a problem in your design, or you have something wrong other than this. But there's many another technique for that. You know what I mean? So you have perform a find on server. It's not the magical wand of of magic. I mean, like poof, everything works. No. It can be sometimes it's weird, but sometimes performing the find on server is slower than performing locally.
You have a question on Discord. Yeah. How are you displaying the various requests on the layout? A portal? Does that mean a portal in find mode shows results? That's the question. You see that?
Okay, yeah, that's easy. Okay, I'm going to show you that. Okay, so let's take this question as an introduction for this part. So here, the search layout. No, it's not this one. Which one it is? We'll find it. Where's the file? Okay. Here. Picker creation find call. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So it's a portal. It's here you have a portal that goes directly to the table. So it is when you're in find mode here. Okay, you can create things. So you can create the records, the requests. You are creating a request. That's all what you're doing here. Okay, so the portal is not a related portal. It's this. 2 years ago I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? 2 years ago this was impossible. Yep. Because related portal doesn't work. But here I'm using a portal which is the local portal. directly to the current table. So that works on find mode. That works on find mode. So that's why it's cool, right? It's cool because it works on find mode. As I said, 2 years ago I couldn't do that. So now that you have this, you can navigate through your record. And knowing though also that the find mode, you have access to many things, like the request info, for example. So you are in find mode, and the request info, it's an auto entry calculation. There's no problem. It's doing it. It's working. These things are working in find mode as well. As I said, if you say take whatever field minus this, for example, it might not work, because if you put a calculation here in find mode, okay, let's say you put a calculation date created minus date modified, for example, it won't work, but it will work with the data you put in find mode. Let's say you have this those two fields on the layout when you're in find mode, right? And you have this calculation that says, okay, date created minus date modified to know since when I modified, I created the file. It will work but it won't work with the data. It will work with what you input during the find mode. If during the find mode you say that created yesterday and that modified today, the answer of this will be 1 day, because that's what you ask during the find mode. Okay, it won't take data. It will take the find mode. When you are in find mode, you have to imagine that you are in an empty, unique record. So when you're in find mode, you have an empty, unique record. Okay, and you enter thing inside. Okay, and you can create requests, right? That you can create more records. Okay, so you create new empty records, and those records are not stored in any ways, and they don't access to the index, nothing, right? But those requests / record. That's why FileMaker put the same command, is new request, is new record / request, because actually when you are in find mode, you still have access to all the goodness of certain kind of relationship. You have access to what's the name? Fields definition. You have access to fields type and auto entry and even validation. You have access to this. But you don't have access to data. That's what I was explaining yesterday. So yes, in find mode, many things can happen. So here, when you switch in find mode, here what I'm doing here. I'm doing a trick, and Richard, you're right on calling that a hack, because it is a hack. But unfortunately, sometimes, I'm not against hacks. I'm against hacks when you can do differently with that, when it's not a hack. Now here, I explored for more than a decade a technique to do that without being a hack, and I couldn't find it. So so now that we explored, now that we learned that a request is a record in find mode, and this request is kind of we'll accept data, and everything around the data at the moment of the find mode will be all the calculation will work, everything will work. You can have access to many things on scripts. As I said yesterday, all script works. Everything on script works on find mode except anything that have data, like export, like print or whatever, I mean, the save as Excel or stuff like this doesn't work, So, but everything else, yes, you have access to this. Even related value lists and stuff like that, in certain ways, in certain fashion, it works. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. So how I can now do this omit and include, omit, include, omit, include. Okay. How I'm doing this? So this is where the magic happened. when I launch this, you see here, when I do this, I do two things. First of all, I mean, many things, but two major things. First thing, I'm doing this. I do the new window. I open the card, okay? And then I said, okay, I need to go to the slide, whichever slide I was before here, you see? So I open this window in card. I go to the slide where I last, where I last left the thing. And I enter find mode with, here with restore. I'm restoring a find mode. Enter find mode with restore. So why it is important to know that? Because you need to learn for who is old enough to have used FileMaker 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, you understand what those restore means for us. Back in the day, so I'm telling that for people, new people. Back in the day, we didn't have the possibility to edit this. We didn't have this possibility, okay? To create new things, like we didn't have. When we wanted to store a search, we were doing the search once, we were entering find mode, do the search, and perform the search in the layout. And then we were going to the script, and you say, okay, by the way, perform a find and restore the last one I just did. Keep in store, and store the last one I did. Okay, this is how FileMaker works, and still works today, like this. Okay, I can demonstrate it to you. I think this is important to know that this is possible. So let's say I'm going to this one. Okay, and I'm doing no, not this one. I'm doing a search again, and here, and I said Santa. Okay, here Santa, and okay, hold on. Let's say, okay, I will say like box and depart. Okay, so let's say I say box here, okay, and this. Okay, there's nothing. Okay, let's say Jedi and clone. Okay, okay, I put clone here, and Jedi console. Okay, that's what that's what I ask for. If I go right now, I go there, and I create a new script. Okay, and I say perform find, right? And I said this, it keeps the last one I just did. Okay, so this is how the search works. Okay, so knowing this, okay, that I can do this, right? So what I've done here, I have, when I perform the find here, okay, I enter the find mode, I enter the find mode here, enter find mode, and I use the same technique of creating my own search. That's what you can do here. You can perform a find with the latest or whatever, or with the latest or whatever find you want to do. Okay, you create your own, or you can enter the find mode, preparing things for you beforehand. Perform find is after. It's at the end of find mode. Enter find mode is at the beginning. So here, what I'm doing here, I'm preparing for the find mode. Okay, so I said, okay, look, open this and enter. Okay, this is on. Enter the find mode, and you need for the find mode here what I want you to do. You create two requests. Each time you do this, each time you create a new here, it's like creating a new request. Okay, so this is new request. Each time you create new here. Okay, So new means each time you say I want this, and and new I want this, and etc. Well, each time you do this, you ask a request. Okay. So my first request, it's a find request, and I say, okay, put one here and put one here. I have two tags here for my visual purpose. It's for visual purpose. Okay. It's two tags, very easy. So create a request with the find request, and then I said create another one, a number two, right? Hide it. I want you to hide that. Okay, hide it. But now this one is type 2. So I have two requests. So it creates automatically in find mode. I am in find mode here. And he created my two requests that I asked for, my two empty requests. Okay, and then the script says modify last find. That means then you can take whatever you find before. So here, and then I have one request by default. This is my default. Okay, so now you understand how I've done this. Create new request, omit. This is how you do. You create two requests. One is omit, and one is create. So now, how you can add a new omit request? Okay, how you can add a new one? You cannot add a new request like this. If you say new request, it will be an omit request. It will be an include request. You cannot have an omit request. So what I've done here, this is because so far this is not the hack. This is purely how FileMaker works. Okay, you prepare your environment, and by the way, again, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but again, all of this is possible. All of this is possible because I have a support that the car style window. I have a support for my UI, and because now I have this nice UI here with the portal showing the requests as you create them and stuff like that. And you see here, what you omit, what you include. It's extremely visual because I have the support, the car style, to lay down my UI. This is what you see. I can have the user experience working now. I can have the magic happening. If I don't have this, how the hell you do that here? How the hell you do that? If you don't have the support, you need a support to get this. Okay. So now what happened? How I can include a request or create a new including request or a new omitting request? It's very simple. I have them. They're created already, right? And I have something that's available to me. Is that this one? So, I'm going here. I copy the request. I copy the record request. Okay, this is a technique. I go here and I copy whatever is inside this request. So why I'm using copy record request? Most of the people are ignoring this copy record request and the copy record. Okay. And they shouldn't. You should explore that copy request you see, it's copy record / request. So that means I can copy a request in find mode or a record in browse mode, right? And then I go here, okay, and I want to paste the info here, the info that I need. Okay, so pretty much this is what I want. I want because I want to copy all of the records, right? All of the requests. Okay, so now I can what's the name? I don't want to show you that, but so you have a lot of things going on. You have to analyze my stuff. But what I'm doing pretty much is duplicating the request. What I'm doing is I'm going there. I'm taking I'm going to the request, the original request that I want, right? I'm going to the original request the number 1 or the number 2. The number 1 is the including request, and the number 2 is the omitting request.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
You do have
and
a question.
Then I duplicate the request.
Okay, so question from Simon Day. He says, if you copied a record, would it still do auto enter calcs, i.e. UUIDs specifically, not requests? Can you look at it's on Discord?
Yes, of course, because you create because you create a new. Okay, you don't need UUID when you create a request. It's not relevant. But if you copy a record. That's what you mean. Yeah, copy a record. Okay. When you copy a record, yes, and you copy the record, and then you want to create a new record out of this information, right? Yes, you can. It will create because you create a new record. So you know what I mean? Yeah, record space. Yes, yeah. So you are in the record, you copy the record, and then you create a new record and you paste the record. Okay, it's of course it works. I mean, you paste the record. You paste information out of the record. Okay? Knowing that when you copy a request or copy a record, the information you copy are tab delimited. They are the delimitation is tab. Okay? So it's that's why it's very cool to transfer a record into our an Excel file. But we can do a session out of this, the copy of record. It's a very ancient technique that people are not using. Copy paste record. I mean, using copy record. Look, I don't want to dig too much here because
I know. I'm giving it. I know. You're giving me I'm writing the description down so I can give it.
Is exploring this ancient technique of copy records at your advantage. And I'm going to use that file as an example because it's a great example of copy paste. Actually saved my blip. The copy request saved my blip. Otherwise I would have a problem. So but I don't want to dig too much on that because there's so many things
that's
going
fine
on.
Keep going. That's fine.
Yeah,
I just want to write down.
Knowing that so here the idea was to create to initiate the launcher. Okay, so the idea was to create those two requests, omit and include, right? So they are there, they are empty. So pretty much here, let's say when you first launch this, okay, to make sure you understand.
Oh, hang on. You got to switch your camera. Switch back. We're looking at your face.
Yeah.
You are beautiful, but
yeah, I'm not that beautiful.
Not that beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
Not without the tie. You need to put a tie on while wearing the asteroid shirt.
Yeah, I put the tie on the asteroid. That's a trash look.
I about fell out of my chair. I'm laughing so hard. All right.
So yeah, okay. So so here, how many requests do you think I have here? And the answer will be gets
three. Who said 3? That was Simon Day. Very good. Simon Day is paying attention. Yes, Simon Day, you're being a good student. We like. But
everybody pay attention. They are like a church when they come here. They keep silent.
The Church of Nick.
Yeah. So I have 3, and I pretty much keep myself ignoring those requests. That's why at the end, when I performed this find, you saw it. When I performed the find at the end, I'm just ignoring those. If they will be empty, they will be purely and simply empty. So it's like empty requests. You don't care. FileMaker will say, okay, there's nothing there. I ignore them. But they are not empty right now. There's these 2 tags, hide and 1, 2. Hide, why? Because I don't want them inside this portal. So they hide. Okay. But this is a construction, right? It's a construction. I can show you how this works. Actually, it's kind of cool to dismantle the piece here. To see I have a copy and paste here. I'm going to explain that why I'm doing this in the session we have. So if you open this layout here, you will see that I have one unique what's the name portal here, and this is where I have plenty of things that hides and shows. So pretty much those things shows and hide depending on when what it is. So when I said when I said hide, when it's not hide, as you know, it's showing this, or if this hide, you see not yes, you know. So this is how it's done. I have one when you see this here, when you see this here, it's one row. This is one row. This is one row. They're all. Do you see what I mean? So one row. This is the first row of the request here. You know, those. So it's kind of neat to do that like that way. It's not too much complicated. You can go and you can go on this file. You know, the UI UX design v2, and just explore how this is working. It's not. It sounds crazy, but it's not actually. You know what the magic here? It's the magic is the recipe between what's the name? The magic here is the mix of ingredient that gets you the good recipe. Okay, that's it. Otherwise, all the pieces I use are very simple. Are enter file mode, a bunch of set fields. There's nothing like crazy. You know what I mean? And so it's that's why it works so well. So of course you can come. Okay, so here I was demonstrating how to do the perform find, locally. Okay, because I didn't want to mix too much of the complexity together. I didn't want to have this and the perform script on server at the same time, because that will be overwhelming to understand. Okay. But here, pretty much, you know here exactly what I'm doing here. So that's why I say, okay, I'm emptying those tags here and stuff. When I perform the find, I'm emptying those things. Okay, I empty those. Okay, and so you see, I'm going here and I just go to the first, the last, the second, and the third. You know, and I do that like this, and then I perform the find, and then here I go, and here, see, I remove the filter, I remove the quick find, which is those two here. You see the thing you have here, the filters and the quick find here. I put that 0 because you are doing a new search, a new advanced search. So whatever you had written in the search box here needs to go away. Otherwise, you are giving misinformation to the person, right?
Okay.
Then you close the window, you go to record, and bam, you have your stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
David Angel has a question, but we might have to send David back to school last week. He goes, how is Nick transferring the new request parameters to the server ? To be replicated through PSOS?
Oh, but I have the same version of this. So when you use this file, the UI UX file, when you click on the account button here, you toggle between two versions of the same layout. See, you have this layout. See, you have two versions. So if you go to that version here with this, okay, when you go to that version, here you have a simpler version of the same thing. Okay, you have a simpler version of the same thing, and so here you can you know how I'm doing this. I mean, I don't know if I understood well the question, but you can combine the technique I just showed you before, and with this technique here, transferring on the PSOS, pretty much.
But we covered transferring the PSOS last week. Was that last week that we?
Yeah, exactly. And I explained how this works yesterday. So it's very simple. It's doing the same thing. Actually, okay. I think I understand the question.
Well, and then Agent Chevy asked the question: is there a particular reason why we're using table view, right? And And I'm like, didn't we cover that last week too? So yeah, you
Okay,
might have to rewind a little bit, Nick.
okay,
Yes.
why I'm using table view here is very simple. Is to help me debug. It's just for debug purposes. When you build something, you need to make sure that you help yourself. You know, you don't want to hang yourself. You want to help yourself. And most of the time, you need to help you. You need to give you like the ability to show some things. Like for example, sometimes you say, why the hell you are transferring all your information into variable when you can just put that in the calculation of the set field, for example. Yes, but in the variable, I can see it. I can check it. I can, I have a way to see what what the calculation is going to get. You know what I mean? Because sometimes how calculation doesn't work. Let's say, okay, I don't get the results I want. So maybe pieces of your calculation doesn't work. So sometimes if you give yourself the ability to display the pieces, then you can say, oh yeah, here divided by 0. That's why I have the question mark, because 0 doesn't. You can divide by 0. You know what I mean? If you get all the ingredients directly to the calculation and you get a question mark, you have no clue. Now, if you say, okay, you have number 2, you have number 3, and all of this need to be divided by, by the way, empty means 0. Okay, that's why I have the question mark, because dividing by empty, it result with a question mark.
Can I help everyone? For those of you who don't have an advanced degree, so this doesn't go for some of your engineers or Oregon Dean. Maybe Oregon Dean had a professor like this. I had a professor from the Middle East at UC Davis back in the day, and he would get on the stage and he would start talking with his accent from I don't know where he was, at Egypt or someplace, but he was like a triple super professor, aeronautical engineering, and he goes, "Do you know what happens if you divide by 0?" And he gets in front of the class and he starts throwing stuff at him. "You will go to hell." Right, literally, he says that. Right, just in the class is like. So this, dividing by 0, it's not like you get empty or blank or 0 or something. If you're a mathematician, it's like offensive.
So and in FileMaker, you result with the question mark, which is
Well, yeah, that's FileMaker saying, hey, you want to go to hell or you want to fix this, right? So yes,
yeah, exactly. So here, if I had to transfer this to the file set, transfer to the server. Instead of perform find, I would have just used, the technique that I used before, and I'm inside the loop here. Because you can have multiple requests. Remember, here we have the possibility to have a multiple request. So if you want to transfer that to the server, and that's one reason I didn't do it, because it's kind of more complicated, but you need to replicate exactly this. So you need to keep the 1 and 0. You know what I mean? The 1 and 2 to know which one is the omit and which one is the include. So you need to have a loop that gets, okay, I have here what I have for my including request, and here what I have for my omitting request. Reproduce this. Okay, so I could build it if you want. It would take me some time, by the way. It's a complex interaction, but that's why I didn't do it, because it was adding a overwhelming complexity for you to understand the concept of this. Okay, now if you want to start slowly, here an advice for you. If you want to start slowly here, forget about the including and the omitting. Start with including only, because that's another way you can omit requests. Okay, and if you have tomorrow, I'm going to show you this, how you can use the transfer of file sets to your advantage, right? Transfer of file set is very powerful, and you can you will see tomorrow. I think you will be bluffed, because it's unexpected. That's an unexpected way to use the transfer of file set technique to get you to omit or to include data. Okay, so I'm going to show you that tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to play with the super duper advanced search, which is this one. okay, and which is the universal search, okay. So we are going to use that tomorrow, okay, and for that we are going to heavily use the relationship map. So stay tuned tomorrow on this. I think it will be great, and I'm going to. I didn't expect to do that, but I'm going to do it because I think it's a good demonstration for you to understand relationship with FileMaker. I'm going to extend a little bit my demonstration for tomorrow and show you how the transfer of font set technique is absolutely awesome. Okay, and I'm going to show you that tomorrow.
Nick will be here tomorrow. Awesome. Nick, you have any parting words to people? Should they have like a homework assignment? Should they have anything they should study before tomorrow?
Not really. Yeah, not really. I mean, yeah, transfer of font set for sure. This is what we are going to use tomorrow. Actually, I've done all of those courses since many months now to arrive to that point where I'm showing like a new way, not a new way, but the best way to handle the search, the mix of everything, because the search we change our ways of searching because we are searching all day long. I don't know if you remember, if you notice this, but we are searching all day long. We go anywhere we go eBay, we search, we go Amazon, we search, we go Google, we search, we go everywhere we go, we search. That's what we do. So all those search actions, they are all the same, and they have one thing in common. But FileMaker doesn't handle that. So it's not coming out of the box. So you need to build your own modern search, which is okay. It's not complicated at all to do.
Yep.
But you needed to know everything I'm talking about since 2 months in order to arrive there. That's why.
There's a question in here, Discord. I think you're talking about this tomorrow, Nick. If you want to look at the bottom question, Discord.
Yeah, just wanted to tomorrow. How is transferring the new request or omit to the perform? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You want the juice.
But that's tomorrow, right? That's what you're doing tomorrow.
No. That is something I have to. Okay. I'm going to do it. It's not difficult. Okay, it's not difficult to build. It's difficult to get it working. But build is not difficult. When you have all the blocks, all the building blocks, it's hard to hell to make it click to work exactly like it should be. So and it's time consuming. But I promise. So far, I kept my promise so far. So I'm going to build, because it's interesting for me too to build that. I want to make it. I want to build it. So I'm going to make it. Promise.
Yeah, I mean, Simon's talking about, well, you wouldn't do it with a relationship graph. I mean, listen, relationship graph is kind of fixed. A fixed kind of item. With a dynamic find request, you can really do all sorts of crazy stuff with that, right, Nick? I mean, that's the whole idea with the dynamic find request.
With a relationship map, you can go extremely far in terms of omitting and including. It's very powerful. I think tomorrow I'm going to handle a small part of it, of the relationship. How the relationship works, and if you want, tomorrow we'll have another buzz session and see out of what I'm going to show if people want to learn more about this.
Well, people normally just buzz you just because you're good looking, so I get buzzed all.
Yeah. I know it's just to make the show more entertaining, but it's the relation. I love the relationship. Actually, I'm going to solve. I know Arturo is. I was with Arturo this morning on the phone, and that, by the way, that's why I wasn't in the meeting this morning. I was with Arturo, and so we were talking about a problem he has about a lot of records and many problems. And this morning, I don't know, Kyle, if you had your ear buzzing because we were talking about a lot of SQL here.
Oh, damn. All right. You're going to hurt me.
And so just to finish this, and everything, I'm pretty sure now, based on what I saw and when I start thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that 99.99% of the problem Arturo has will be solved with relationships.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure of this.
Ruben says, hey, Nick, thank you for sharing. I have 3 years of experience and did all of that on my own. And now you're filling in the gaps with my knowledge to showing how a senior works and thinks. It's awesome. Great. Yeah, Ruben, if you're going to learn FileMaker and just say I'm going to give you a random number. Say it takes you 5 years to learn everything about FileMaker and be a senior developer. I think that's a little on the short side, or a little bit longer than that. If you add Nick and you have our training, you'll cut it down in half. I'm pretty sure.
To learn is here the process when you want to learn. So you have because I kept in my life I have to learn the most difficult thing ever is a language. You don't have a more difficult thing to learn than language, because it's not involved grammar or verbs and stuff like that. It involves also a culture, a way of life, or a pop culture. So learning a language is it's a huge. You have to learn history, philosophy, and so it's not just one language. So so I've done that many times in my life. So what you do, you take a piece of what you want to learn, okay, and you explore, and you put on the table, and you explore the thing. Like, for example, you want to explore the transfer of font set. Okay, you watch the video, and then you say, okay, let's try simple, right? Let's try simple. You have a table with first name, last name, phone number, right? And you have another table with accounts, and then you want to replicate this. So you do small. Little by little, very simple, and then you expand, and then you master the technique, right? That's how. But you shouldn't say, "Oh, this is not for me." It's like, I hate when people do that when they learn, because it's like, okay, yeah, let's. I'm going to teach you a language, but we are not talking about verbs and names,
I tend to do that sometimes. I'm a
yeah, I know, but this is natural. This is natural because I don't want to overwhelm you, but but the problem is, we are going to teach you to swim, no water.
Brian Ginn, I guess it's Ginn, Ginn, Ginn. We're talking about this admin tool thing here in FileMaker real quick, and this is a random topic, so I'm not going to kick the can down the road on this. But he goes, when you do an install, so whenever you build an installer of FileMaker, I haven't played with this too much, but you can kind of customize the installation. And one of the things you can do with the customized installation is people install it. You can forcibly make sure the tools menu stays turned off, right? I believe that is a function on that. We have never shot a video on that. If I run into an engineer who can talk about this, done that, or one of you has done that, you want to give me some information on it. I haven't done it recently, but if you were like a big corporate IT shop, you'd want to and you didn't want people doing Nick stuff, right? Like, what if these people watch Nick? And what if they start hacking my files? And what if they start making FileMaker better? Okay, well, as an IT person, you suck because you want people to make FileMaker better. But let's assuming that you want total control. This is my FileMaker developer, and I want total control over them, and they can't do anything. You hear me? Can't do anything. So what you would do is you lock out the admin, you lock out all sorts of the developer tools. I think Ginn is right about that, right? So we're not allowed to torture the puppet, but yes, Nick, you see here, yeah. Nick's typing, but yes. So you want to be able to control your IT users because you don't want them running wild behind you. That's why FileMaker is so popular. And when the IT people go, you must use Oracle, and you must use SQL, and you must do those stuff, and then people go, screw you, we're going to use FileMaker. And you're like, so they disappear. And so because you're sitting there working and doing stuff, you don't see them. But they're like behind your back over here, like literally behind your back. You're working, and they're behind your back building FileMaker stuff, right? And you don't even know. It's like the guerrilla warfare thing. Like, what's going on? Oh, yeah, the FileMaker people. And then before long, you start seeing this FileMaker traffic on the network. And they're building the server back there, and they're talking and have a meeting, and go to meeting groups. And that's how FileMaker gets started in a big company. It pisses off the IT guys. It's so funny. So there you go. Words of wisdom to live by, right, Nick?
Yep.
This is Nick Hunter, and this is an additional little piece of video that we attached to this sample file to make sure that you guys understand. So again, we want to make sure you guys enjoy. So we try to use and reuse what we already have in order to get something to you. But sometimes it's not as clean and as nice that we would like to have, but it's better than nothing. And we appreciate that you understand that it's time consuming. And so this is a file, the UI UX file. This is a new one that I'm going to issue. And actually that will be the v3, by the way. That will be the v3. So this file here, you have two different versions of the same layout. You have the first version that we elaborated during the first webinar that we have. And then we build another one. And we improve it, and you toggle, let's see, this it change. So to go from one to another, you click on account here again. So it toggles to one to another. Pretty much it toggles between those two. That's what it's do. You have alternate two, right? So you have two versions of the same layout. And in order to make the thing clean, we just put here a toggle. When you click here and here, you have a different version. As you can see, when you are in this version here, you have this box here popping that you don't have here, right? No box here. So here you have the box. So where we were talking about, remember, it was all about that kind of a global search kind of a capability that we were talking about, and about using relationship in order to get filtering and font sets. We use relationship in order to filters. I have demonstrated that into the video, but to get to the data, here what you need to do. First of all, you need to initiate a search here. So I like to do, you type Carlton here and you initiate a search. Because initiating the search, if the search is empty here, let's say it's empty. So if you don't have anything here. So if you get that here, you need this is empty, right? It's empty. This is the layout where you can use the filtering things. It's where you can play while watching the video that I shot during the webinar. You can play with this layout. To go to this layout here, you need to go to this one, the T200 universal search. This layout here is this layout. Okay, so you need to open this layout. See, you go there, you go to the manage layouts, manage layout, and then you go there, T200, and you click the open button here, right? Open, bam. So you see it's empty, but as soon as you put something here, like Carlton, okay, as soon as you put something here, it starts populating things. And then now you can play, like removing this, right? So removing this, bam, see, it's gone. You can put them back, okay? Or you can say, okay, I want to filter those two out, keeping those. See, I mean, you can play with the data the way I'm playing during the video. So that was the additional video we want to make sure that you guys understand. First of all, understand how to get there, to this layout, to this one here, and understand how to get to the 200 here, the T200, and how this works in conjunction with this field here. That's it, guys. Thank you very much. And again, thank you for watching us.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. Great read. good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but then he makes the grab.